easy go.
Hello and welcome to another YouTube video. Today we will be doing the first Canadian build on my channel, or the first Canadian pricing system. The reason that we are doing this is because one of my friends who lives in Canada asked about a custom build for one of their prices, so then I just made them a list. So I'm like, well, I had the list, why not just turn this into a YouTube video? So that's what I'm doing. So this is about $1,680. I don't know what if I'm going to call this 1,600 or 1,700, but you'll see in the you'll see in the title. You read the title. Alright, so this is Intel and NVIDIA. This is, the reason, so I guess, let's start with the CPU. So the reason why we chose the i5-9600K is because it is slightly more expensive than the Ryzen 3600, but in terms of frames per second, this will get more frames per second. So in a gaming build, this will definitely perform better. So this is 6 cores, 6 threads. If you are streaming, which this person said that he didn't want to, the Ryzen definitely would help out with this, but this definitely can stream, video edit, so you can do pretty much everything, and gaming performance, this will perform better. Okay, so to cool it, pretty much just, you could go with like a cheap cooler. You don't need something this expensive, so I would say this one, since this is a K CPU, you can overclock this, so that's why I went with this fancier cooler to get more performance. But if you're trying to cut costs, then this should be, you don't need this. So yeah, basically just a lot of overclocking on this. For the motherboard, we just went with basic, B365M gigabyte micro ATX. But yeah, anyway, 4 DIMM slots, no Crossfire SLI, which probably, with cards this powerful, you don't really need Crossfire SLI, but you can definitely upgrade it. But I just had to keep costs down, so that's why we're just going with a basic motherboard. But you definitely can upgrade it, get like a fancier motherboard with like RGB lights and have it look really cool. For RAM, we're just getting 16 gigabytes, 3200 megahertz. This is cheap. Go with 16 or 32 depending on the tasks. If you're just gaming, 16 is all you need. 32 will not be beneficial at all. But if you are doing 4K video editing, then 32 will be utilized. Okay, for storage, I'd say go with a hard drive and an SSD. That's what I'd recommend. Or you can just ditch the hard drive and spend all the money on the SSD. But definitely just you can't install Windows on the hard drive, because that is when problems will occur. It's just going to be really slow, and then all the other applications on the hard drive will run slow. But if you have Windows on the SSD, and then your most used applications on the SSD, but then once you use the hard drive, it won't be as slow because Windows will not be installed on the hard drive. Okay, for the video card, we went with the EVGA GeForce RTX 2060. This is just the standard RTX 2060. Yeah, so EVGA, you can get any brand that you want. This is just the cheapest one for $449.99, it looks like. Actually, how much was yeah, so $450. So yeah, this will perform really good paired with the i5 CPU. If you want, like, I could do a like $1,600 all AMD, because that was something I'm curious about. But I just went with the Intel and NVIDIA because in terms of the price, the NVIDIA GPU was definitely better right now. And then the for the price, the Intel CPU was definitely better. Well, in terms of frames per second, it was definitely better than the Ryzen CPU. So that's why I guess went with this over a all AMD. Okay, so for the case, this is, I'd say, so for the CPU cooler and the case, you can definitely cut some corners, or I guess if you just went with the Hyper 212 Evo with this, with like some basic case, you'll definitely get the price down. But he did mention that it wanted to look cool, so this it doesn't really represent it well, but this can like light up. It definitely has RGB lights. It looks really cool, really easy to build in. But you are paying a very premium price. So this case is about $250. For the power supply, this is just the cheapest, or not the cheapest, most reliable Corsair 650 watt 80 plus bronze. You won't have any problems with this. You definitely can go higher than this, but definitely just don't go lower than this. Okay, so $1,680. So you might be like, wait, but if I cut the power supply and the case, that's all, like, you don't need it. So okay, here's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to get rid of this. Okay, so for the CPU cooler, Hyper 212 Evo. So it's just some basic black. It doesn't look good at all, but you know, whatever. If you're not going for aesthetics, what's the cheapest? Okay, hold on. How can I like price? So like under, I don't know. What's like the cheapest? How can I filter price? A Rosewell. Okay, perfect. Okay, and yeah, this is the cheapest of the cheap. Now you're down to like about 1,400, a little bit less than that. So yeah, you definitely can save money. With that, of course, there would be no overclocking this, so you are getting a little bit worse performance. But yeah, so you know, pretty much this is the build. Yeah, first Canadian build on the channel. If you do like these Canadian pricing builds, definitely let me know. I've just been doing the US pricing because I guess more people live in the US, therefore more people like watch my videos in the US. So yeah, the highest percentage of people that watch my videos are from the US, and then second would be Canada. But I live in Canada, but I still like record the like US pricing and like USD dollars, US dollars for PC build, Okay, yeah, what am I saying? Okay, like, subscribe, comment for a future video. Yeah, alright, peace out.